American making history at the ECAC. And there it is! Both platforms online, and Dick will take it home.
What a game.
Take a victory lap, take a bow, and take the headsets off and start to yell.
Hello, and welcome into Esports U. My name is Whoopshoe. In the booth with me today is my good friend Chixa, and we're going to be bringing you great Rocket League action today with Northeastern University taking on Kaiser. Chixa, walk us through this, just shenanigans that could potentially happen here for Rocket League.
Yeah, this is definitely the last week of the ECAC in this division, and there are playoff implications with this match. Northeastern currently 2-3, Kaiser currently 3-2. If Northeastern is able to win, they would force a three-way tie for playoff contention. So kind of crazy thoughts. Week 7, can you believe the season has already gone by that fast?
Yeah, it's been absolutely crazy. Tiffin University right now holding down that third place spot, just looking, waiting, lurking to see where they're going to be placing as well. But I think they punched their ticket already. But regardless of the fact, Kaiser University desperately want to win this one to punch their ticket. And of course, Northeastern just trying their absolute best to be just like the disruptors of that whole entire operation. But regardless, Chicksa, we have some middle ground here, okay? Merrimack University, Merrimack Yellow, essentially played both of these teams. And a little interesting tidbit of information, Northeastern University actually won that matchup in the head-to-head in the 4-3 victory. And earlier on in the season, Kaiser lost. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and hop into this matchup. Game number 1 of this best of 7 is on our hands.
Yep, as always, best of 7. So pretty long series, pretty difficult series at that. You have to understand and adapt throughout the entire time you're playing, get to know your opponent, and again, imagine the stress with playoff implications on the line. At this point, you want to do your best, and Elliott starting off with his best, placing that one top shelf.
Yeah, that was such a good shot right here from Elliott over to the left-hand side. This angle is always so difficult to defend against because you're just not sure what the speed and velocity of the ball is coming from. And on top of that, just a difficult angle to defend anyway when you're so flat with the goal line. 1-0 in favor of Northeastern already.
Yeah, great start for them. Of course, they're the one really with the kind of tiebreaker, kind of spoiler that they're playing right now as best they can. Could they still potentially make it, forcing that 3-way tie, of course, but it always depends on exactly how they matched up against their other opponents and how well they win today. Prism barely missing off on that one. Slipperito taking his time upfield, hoping for a quick transition with Northeastern. Stacks going well to keep it up. Changa gets beat, and here Slick Burrito as well, able to find the 50. Possibly another shot here for Northeastern. It's a follow-up there for Elliott, saved by Prism on the goal line, and this Northeastern pressure, it's just maybe too much to handle. Good thing some of the shots were off target.
Well, this was a slow roller as well. Slick Burrito going to pick that one up and over into the corner as well. Right back towards midfield. This could be the chance right now that Kaiser need to equalize the scoreline. A big miss coming through as well. Off the backboard we go. And Cordy Cube trying to do his best to kind of keep that one out of harm's way. And he does that. So the extension towards the opposite end, but a missed opportunity on the offensive end for Kaiser as well. Going to see if the defense right now from Kaiser going to stand tall.
This one straight down. That one saved by Changa at the very last moment. Northeastern still putting on a majority of the pressure. And this one transitions is currently what Kaiser is hoping for. Here comes the shot off one. A Prism to Changa. They find the connection and they finish off with a goal.
Yeah, this is like the same exact shot, except now it's in favor of Kaiser. This left angle all the way the extension towards the far post just solidifies that goal for them to equalize the scoreboard in such a quick succession as well. I mean, that shot came right off the backboard, and instantly you saw somebody there from Kaiser to go ahead and shoot that one. So huge play. Speaking of which, Prism trying to go for a double tap maybe, but denied by Cordy Cube. You see Slick Burrito now bring this one up towards the corner. Good defense so far. Once again, keeping everything out of harm's way. All three defenders right now from Kaiser in great position to defend this one against Northeastern.
Kaiser's been doing great on the defensive end. Prism already with a savior medal halfway through this game. He's been kind of that rock wall for Northeastern. Cordy Cube getting the flip reset, but Changa, huge clear out. Yet another one noted. Not a single save yet for Northeastern, but don't you bet there's been plenty for Kaiser. And what we've seen, at least recently, is defense does indeed win a game. So this is keeping Kaiser very much in it. A pretty high-skilled kind of match, though, between these two teams. Champ 1, Champ 2, Champ 2 on the side of Northeastern. Champ 2, or Grand Champ, excuse me, on all those. And Champ 3, Grand Champ 3 for either side. So plenty of high-level play. Someone's just waiting to pop off in the right moment.
Yeah, I think of all the Rocket League games I think I've casted this season, this has pretty much been the most even, I would say, on both sides, you know, kind of as far as skill set goes, but it just depends on which team is going to put everything all together, or maybe even like which Grand Champ is going to kind of pop off in this moment as well. But regardless of the fact, we still have ourselves a tie ball game in 30 seconds approaching us here in game number 1. Slick Burrito now, wrap around pass, dangerous territory. I think you saw Changa lurking for that one. Elliott going to bring it back towards the orange half of the pitch. Jenga trying to get the extension. Slick Burrito now trying to put a shot on target. That one's going to be too wide to the right-hand side. Elliott with the follow-up as well. Stack's going to save that one into the corner.
Great recoveries here for Northeastern in particular. It's why they can continue this relentless pressure. You see them landing, picking up boost in an effective manner. It's exactly everything that you would hope for this continuous offense. They are out shooting their opponent 4 times the amount right now, easily on the field, but that won't do much. If Kaiser can find a way to just sneak it on in, they don't need many opportunities. They're 2 for 3 right now, and they're winning with less than a minute left.
Yeah, that's Changa's second goal. That one just drilled home. A little bit of post luck, I would say, as well, as that one bounces in from the right-hand side and finds its way, finds its mark. 50 seconds left in game 1. And for the most part, I want to say that, you know, Kaiser, although they've had their back against the wall, I think that they had more respectable shots. Prism firing another one. Stacks with a follow-up touch to be denied as well. Slick Burrito now back towards midfield. Good flick. Put this pressure on. Get credited with a shot as well. Prism, easy save. 30 seconds to go. And Chick says, I still think this is anyone's ball game.
Oh, absolutely. 0-second heroics, especially at this level, very apparent. You have to be ready. You have to hold that line. Slick Burrito, though, and the rest of Northeastern desperately need a clear at this point in the game. Elliott doing his best to do so, but still doesn't find the touch he needs. Prism, a miss. Stacks to come on through. We'll send this in the midfield, and this one to touch the ground. Maybe not, but what? Double demo, huge to end the game for Kaiser. They win 2-1 with much less shot count than their opponent.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. A nice exclamation point towards the end. Like you said, a double demolition coming out for Kaiser to just, you know, let that ball hit the ground. And on top of all that, hang on to that lead. They did such a good job towards the tail end of that first game to essentially establish so much pressure that they started feeling from Northeastern the whole entire time, and just start pushing them back to their side to make them start respecting some of their shots and force them to play defense. They didn't really have a chance to bring the ball towards the offensive end to even get the equalizer to force the overtime. So hats off to Kaiser in this game number 1 as they win it 2-1.
I think major shout outs to Prism in particular. 4 of the 7 saves on that end of the field for Kaiser. So he held that line, especially when that Northeastern pressure was relentless. I think definitely going into next game, Kaiser shouldn't allow as many opportunities. You certainly don't want to rely on saving continuously, especially since Stacks just pulled out those demos at the end of the game. You know Northeastern's hungry to do the same with some good old aggressive Rocket League.
Hey, sometimes if you can't beat him, you got to get him off of the pitch, and that's the best way to do it. You know, open up some chances for you on the offensive end. Let's go ahead and hop into game number 2. Fresh 5 minutes on the clock. Let's get this one underway.
Very excited to see if Kaiser is able to remain dominant. A couple of flip resets, may I say, by Stack, showing he is just built different. What a start for Kaiser.
Yeah, huge shot right here from Stacks, especially off the kickoff as well. I love it. This is one aspect of Rocket League I love talking about. It's the kickoff strategies. And sometimes things go your way, other times they don't. And that time right there for Kaiser, it definitely goes their way. So good start, picking up that momentum where they left off in game number 2. And Stacks fires another shot off the backboard, but it's not going to find its mark.
Yeah, this Kaiser team so motivated, finding yet another shot here. QuartyCube, a flip reset of his own, but can't fall on it, loses boost. Maybe some more maintained pressure for Northeastern, but a miss there by Slick Burrito will open up the field for Prism, who finds a great 50. Last back on rotation, QuartyCube gets to it. It falls here and Stacks clear off to his own corner for a offensive reset. A lot going on in this game, but certainly you could tell both teams are amped up at this point in the series.
On top of that, Northeastern, a little bit of anger in their gameplay as well. They need to translate that into some goals, though. It's been a few minutes since they scored their last goal. I think the opening segment of game number 1 essentially is when they scored their last one, but regardless of the fact, they were knocking on the door. A couple of shots coming through on the opposite end right now for Kaiser. Stack trying to set something up. That one's going to be popped right back towards midfield. 40 with the interception, though. Elliott has a chance to kind of put this one for one of his teammates. Slick Burrito waiting. Over to the right side. What a play. The 1-2-3 punch. QuartyCube with the finisher.
Oh, fantastic passing. This is what you want to see in every good makings of a team. And instead of being selfish and taking the shot himself, Slick Burrito gives it off to his teammate who puts on a better shot. One that you couldn't predict, and may I say, a better kickoff as well. Just in the blink of an eye, Northeastern on top.
This is the kickoff strategies. Once again, like I said, sometimes it goes in your favor, other times it does not. This time it goes in favor of Northeastern. They tack 2 goals on in less than like 5 seconds, let's just say. Still lots of time left on the clock. Can't really get too far ahead of yourself. You have to keep yourself in position to keep on scoring, especially since you've seen Kaiser can turn it up late game. Elliott! Oh my goodness, a double touch from nowhere to get the the third goal. My apologies.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was ready for Elliott to come back and follow the initial touch he had, but he lands on the ground instead of using all his boost, picks up a couple extra boost pads, holds all that momentum, and is able to follow up and hit that one off the backboard as it bounces. I don't know if Kaiser was ready for the full-on force of Northeastern offense, but it's been hard to handle. Now Kaiser needs to answer back themselves, and Elliott saving this one will deny them for a start.
Guess what, Chick? So this is Rocket League. Anything can happen, especially with 3 minutes on the clock. I mean, we see it time and time again. You're up by 2. You cannot afford to let up, especially with shots like this from Stacks. The pass from Chenga down to himself off the backboard. What a high-tier play from Stacks.
I wasn't ready. Neither was the defense, and just like that, the game gets that much closer. Great quality in particular for the shots that we have seen this game. It's either really difficult angles or touches or mechanics or passes that have been the key points to this game. Prism going for that flip reset there, almost gets past the defense just on his own, but it's been impressive to continue to watch these teams develop game after game. This shot on target saved at the last second by Elliott, who has been Northeastern's star defender in this game in particular. All eyes are on Stacks. He may have been quiet last game, but this game he scored both the goals for Kaiser, and I think he's searching for another.
Yeah, this is what we were afraid of, essentially, is this one person popping off and just, having that high-tier gameplay that they have, the mentality, the gameplay, and the sense to just kind of pull it all off. And once they start getting going and no one's going to put a hand up in their face, it's going to be very dangerous for the opposite team. And right now, like you said, Kaiser is the one that's benefiting from that. Northeastern have to have a response for Stacks, and so far it's been Elliott who's been on the defensive end for it. So a minute and 55 seconds left, still up by 1 is Northeastern, trying to hunt for another goal to put them up by 2. Prism has other plans, though. This is going to be off the backboard. Up in the air is Stacks, the softest touch, not going to find its mark. This could be a counterattack opportunity right now for Northeastern.
Slick Burrito, that clear out towards the other end. Can't really follow it, though. Stacks himself back on it, sends it up to Prism. Prism still chasing it, has enough power off his car. Stacks following it down, again putting it on target, but it's too soft to go on in. Elliott one-on-one. Changa, a great challenge to allow that one towards the sidewall. This one straight down, up by Slick Burrito, and here comes the angled shot by Curdy Cube, but Prism somehow finds that save some way. Kaiser denying on the goal line, but at this point they don't need to be denying defense, they need offense because they're still down by 1 with a minute left.
Yeah, I mean, think back to a couple of those shots right there from Stacks, and he had the net dead to right. Speaking of which, Prism with a great demolition on the back end, an extension towards the opposite end of the field, and that could indeed be the dagger from Elliott as well, who spawns in. Stacks just passing that one lazily over to the right-hand side and leaving this one to chance, and Elliott striking when the iron's hot.
Transition game quite quick for Northeastern. They're able to get that backboard touch into a shot immediately. Now giving themselves more of a comfort goal. Can Stacks answer though, right off kickoff, almost drops down on it. Slick Burrito,
wow.
A touch of his own for the clear. Prism brings it back. Prism the follow-up, but that one isn't on target. Cordy Cube, some space himself. He'll be demoed for his efforts. Stacks in the corner. This one will get past Slick Burrito. Doesn't have much boost in the tank though, and Changa doing his best to get this one in midfield. Prism looking to contest Cordy Cube, and I don't think there's enough time Stax needs a shot. Wait, it's open. There's still a chance. 11 seconds left and a 1-goal difference.
Yeah, this is just an overcommit right here on the defensive end for Northeastern. You see Slick Burrito first with the initial challenge, then Elliott for the challenge as well. Onto Stax and just leaves a net wide open. I'm not too sure where QuarterCube went, but nonetheless, 10 seconds left. Elliott has a chance to maybe score here. Unless this was going to fall to the wayside, you're going to see Kaiser try to keep this one up in the air. QuarterCube, smart play, just takes it over to the wall and lets it hit the ground. Northeastern tie up the scoreline, and quickly how things turn from a best of 7 down to a best of 5, Jigsaw.
Yep, just like that. I mean, back and forth has been so apparent between these two, and this time Kaiser out shooting their opponent, Northeastern 10 to the likes of 7, and losing even though they had more shots, just as Northeastern did in the previous games. Defense is really propelling both of these teams forward. If you're able to deny those shots, whether it's because of the dynamic or the quality of the shot or just whatever way possible, that's been the difference between these two teams and who ends up winning by just a single goal.
Yeah, on top of that, we were talking about the demolition strategy as well. You see Kaiser that actually had more demos going into this matchup. But I just think that a lot of the shots, think back to those 2 shots in particular from Stax. He had a chance to score that, and it just kind of hit it too soft. So it's just unfortunately that those ones just kind of fell to the wayside, and Kaiser didn't really get an opportunity to, kind of tie up the scoreline, and we see overtime. But we're going to head into game number 3 now. A couple of shots already ringing right here for Kaiser, forcing Northeastern onto the defensive end. QuarterCube, though, with a good clear over towards midfield, and Slick Burrito with a good 50-50 as well. Prism up in the air. Nice air dribble, good control. Good challenge as well from Northeastern. Shot being fired away. Changa and Stax both committing. That could be an open net, but nobody there to pretty much put that one back for Northeastern.
Yeah, I think the nerves are certainly hitting. You could tell the double commit's very more apparent for Kaiser. They weren't ready to lose that last game, and they're not ready for this Northeastern pressure again. Backboard, it's a misread. Elliott comes on through, but it's blocked away towards the corner. Prism going up for a challenge, is able to with the remaining boost. Like Burrito, can he find the read? Changa towards the corner, and Stax low on boost, able to win both 50s to clear this away and allow his team time to get on it, but it's still dangerous. Slick Burrito drops it down, and Elliott just too far away to find the shot.
Now, right now, what I'm noticing is that Stax is, pretty much 1v3 and trying to open up some opportunities for his team and being the disruptor. Speaking of which, look at this play right here from Stax and Prism. As you watch it back, he goes for a bump onto some people. Then on top of that, he threatens a bump onto the last person back, which is Slick Burrito. That just opens up the backboard for a nice soft touch for Prism to put Kaiser up 1-0.
Kaiser, a good start. I think one that they had to dig themselves out of with the pressure that Northeastern was bringing. See if Stax can pull on a little bit of magic, able to flip reset towards the backboard. Prism, dare I say, another double tap read, but Stax is just so conveniently there. He finds the finish.
Well, he's there because look at him get the bump on the QuarterCube on the back end, bumping that third man once again, and it kind of works in his favor to put him in the best position possible to put that shot back for Kaiser. So 2-0, about 3:30 left here in game 3. And quickly things are going in favor of Kaiser, but we really haven't seen the offense from Northeastern just yet, so it can kind of quickly turn towards the other way, but they have to somehow figure out a way to get this ball over towards the orange half of the field.
Tonga, backboard here. He almost got a follow-up. He does. A couple of misses by Northeastern, and Prism able to hold on to that offensive pressure. This one sealing down. Stax has some time, sets him up. Don't tell me he hits that angle. Yes, he does. Reads it off the backboard, back wall, and gives Kaiser now a 3-goal lead with over 3 minutes left in this one.
Yeah, this is getting really dangerous. It was such a beautiful play. The setup was there as well, but what really opened up that back door was Kaiser, or the demolition, onto Northeastern. I couldn't catch who it was. Jenga with another demolition. And the air dribble bump gonna work in his favor. Prism tacking one more on, 4-0.
Why did Director Cam have to do it to us? We couldn't see until the very last second, and there it zooms on in. Prism flip reset, uses the flip to get the bump. The ball still has the momentum to roll on in. This is really quite the statement match for Kaiser in this one. They were like, guns blazing. Let's decide everything that we want to do, everything what we want to change, show off our mechanics, show off the play style, and they've made the changes. And like I said, we're still very early in this game, but I don't know if it'll matter because 4 goals to come back on. I mean, I guess we've seen some pretty crazy things before, but Kaiser seems so in control of this one.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in time, it's 4-0. It's about halfway through in this game. I'm not trying to say like hang up your or grab your coats and start heading for the doors at this point in time, but at the same time, you have to kind of start counting your losses and maybe start looking forward to the next game. Try to implement some strategy. Start talking about what you have to apply at this point in time, and especially with a shot like that from Prism almost finding its mark again. Going to be adding insult to injury at that point in time, but nonetheless, Stacks with a soft floater going to find the 5th goal here. Jigsaw, do you think that Northeastern just let maybe Kaiser run out of steam here, or do you just keep fighting to the end and maybe try to not get skunked out here?
You have to still fight. You need to get your 1 goal, something to propel yourself forward in this series, to get that momentum, to get some confidence back. Because at this point, I mean, they're smoking you. There's no other way to say it. They are being mechanically the stronger team, the aggressive team. They're doing exactly everything they need to. If tiebreaker was based on goals or shot count, whatever, at this point, they're trying to win it, and they're trying to show just how much of a better team they feel they are. So you need your statement. You have to fight. You shouldn't let them score anymore, because this is just going to make Kaiser feel more and more unstoppable, and they're going to continue the strategy into the next one.
Minute and 24. Stacks still hunting for some bumps and demos, and still keeping the pressure on to the backs of Northeastern's defense. Prism, nobody home, no boost as well. The 1 touch over Slick Burrito is going to go ahead and get the 6th one. Now we're getting in dangerous territory as well. Maybe start packing your bags and calling your travel agent at this point in time, Jigsaw, because I mean, it could happen.
Maybe. That'd be a pretty cool vacation. It's kind of, cold in some parts of the Northeast right now, so maybe they need it. Who knows? But all I know is there's somehow still a minute of time left in this one, and it doesn't look like Kaiser has any intent on stopping. Changa back up to Prism. Prism to shoot. It's bar and down, and Stacks still following. This one to clear. Changa up to Prism. No way he touches that. That would have been absolutely wild. But I mean, it looks like a freestyle lobby for the likes of Kaiser right now, and that's a dangerous territory to be in.
I mean, basically right now it is. At this point in time, you have it in the bag. You can't really lose by much, so you're gonna start going for some wild haymaker blows at this point in time onto the opponent that's already beaten down, I guess, and trying to knock them out. And like you said, add insult to injury, try to deflate their egos just a tad bit. And while you head into the next game, you have at least a little bit of a mental over them. Final 15 seconds left. Northeastern still trying to hunt for this 1st goal here in game number 3. Final seconds ticking away. This one's popped over to the right-hand side. Elliott couldn't find the redirect. Slick Burrito, soft floater back towards the mid as the 2nd touch. Not going to find it. Just barely missing contact. Here comes Stacks now. They're going to add 1 more on. He does find the 2nd touch, the wraparound. Not going to find its mark, though. And there goes Kaiser, winning game number 3 in a 6-0 fashion.
That's a demanding lead. That's a demanding game. I mean, the shot count is 12-2. I think that's about as much as we say for it. Hat trick for Prism and Stacks both. But it's a fantastic game. You can't ask for more coming out of Kaiser. But I think, again, Northeastern just needs to tell themselves right now, hey, no matter if we lost by 1 or lost by 6, it's still a loss. Move forward, do better. We beat them in a game before. We can do it again. Rinse, kind of repeat. Let's do better this next one.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so shocking to kind of see that scoreline as well because of how well Northeastern was playing, against Kaiser in game 2 and in game 1, I would say even as well. So, I mean, to kind of see that one kind of get away from them is definitely uncharacteristic. Let's hopefully see them bounce back in this next match right here, game 4. And I like it because, you're quickly right into the next game. You have to kind of put those feelings to the side and move on, progress past it, but you can't take too much time to stew on it because things like this kind of happen. What a save from Elliott. Stacks trying to catch the defense off guard. Did not catch him, though.
That shot needs to be better by Prism, though. You can't crossbar it and hope it goes on in. He had every time of day to line that shot up. But maybe a little bit of overconfidence, we mentioned. Double commit here. Cordy Cube to put it on target. Stacks out into the corner. Gets the pinch, but in fact, it's probably more dangerous than good. Elliott back forward. Stacks to bring it over to Chonga, but it won't really matter. This pop-up Prism, the miss, trying to keep it back in the other corner. The boost steal by Cordy, but Stacks is able to get underneath. Slick Burrito last back. He's last man. Can he get the beat? Yes, Slick Burrito does himself. Pop up, straight down again, and we're just trading 50s and challenges to start off this one.
Like what I'm seeing, though, to be honest with you, it's such a different ball game, and it's more methodical as well. You have the time. Look at Prism with the overtake here. I think Stacks might have had a shot on net there, but nonetheless, we'll never know. It's a different universe, different timeline. Maybe. Here comes Prism. Elliott over towards the wall. Going to be off the backboard. Stacks should clear it to the corner. Slick Burrito with a beautiful pass over to Elliott. Maybe the follow-up touch from Cordy. He's going to find its mark. The triple commit right now on the offensive end opens up the back door. Changa was trying to put that one in, but the hustle back from the defensive end from Northeastern definitely shows up. So still 0-0 in this game number 4.
Don't say that so quickly. Maybe a bump coming on through with that flip reset. Slick Burrito misses on this chance. A good thing Cordy Cube's black. Changa over here, but no touch to it. It's so dangerous of a territory right now for both of these teams. A much quieter game, to say the least. Slick Burrito does get the pop-up. Can Elliott find this shot? No, Stacks is just so fast, and Prism able to extend it that much further. Stacks shot here underneath one, but can't get past Slick Burrito. Ready and prepared, and net is Northeastern. What a pass from Jenga, but Prism shot deflected.
Wow.
Follow-up here for Stacks, but yet another save by Cordy Cube. Northeastern denying at every opportunity. All the shots coming from Kaiser.
Yeah, they're definitely rising to the occasion right now. That was such a huge save from Cordy Cube. It was such a well-designed play as well from Kaiser, but they snuffed that one out. Changa is trying to get something going. Right now, Northeastern hanging on by a thread. You need to get some offense going. You need to get this ball over towards the orange half, and I feel like that's been the whole entire story this whole time. Great pass off right here from Changa, right onto the hood of Stacks.
Stacks is just the epitome of right place, right time offensive player. He seems like everywhere on the field, each and every time, continuously putting on pressure. He is their X factor. He's the one that hits the most flip resets as well. I mean, really great attributes. Of course, the highest, I think, member in this entire lobby rank-wise at GC3. So it's no wonder that he is making the difference that he is. Granted, I'm expecting Kaiser to get more of a lead, especially at this point of the game, but that 6-0 victory, still a strong victory, isn't looking as strong now. And this one, Jenga, the save at the last second. If only that bump came through.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Cordy Cube sized that one up. I thought for sure, regardless, Elliott's going to score this one and tie up the ball game, but it would have looked so much better, Chick. So if the other goal would have went in and the bump would have came through, Northeastern would have definitely had like some momentum swing in their favor. But regardless, we still find ourselves at a tie ball game. About a minute and 30 seconds left, minute 29 to be exact. See how this kickoff goes. Elliott gonna win it. I was gonna say a little bit, but good pickup right there from Stacks and the pass back to Prism. Prism might have the double. He does find the angle, but can't find the opening. 40 cube now. A little bit of an over pursuit. The dunk coming from Prism as well. Almost rolls in. The pressure right now being stacked against Northeastern. They do escape mildly, though.
Prism just a block. Pop this one up. Changa and Cordy Cube to beat, and Stacks will take his time. Gets the boost off the sidewall. Look at that demo. Can Elliott find the shot in quick fashion? Another demo, but it's barred down. What an open opportunity. Northeastern could have found the lead, but instead it's not on target.
I love that. I love that right there from Northeastern, but it's getting rid of one of their best players from Kaiser off the pitch, which is Stacks on the defensive end. And on top of that, getting rid of a second player to open up the door. And then you see them still sticking with the demolition strategy that you haven't really seen them do so far. Elliott trying to get that lead here late in this game 4. Secondary touch right there from Slick Burrito. Going to be a little bit too hard, but at the same time, he had to force that one. This one could be a good pass over towards Prism, who denies him. Prism now, backdoor shot. Stacks up in the air. Elliott jukes over to Cube. Cube could be the hero. Forces it too far to the left side. Final 5 seconds. The boost steal. Cube, maybe the pass down. Stacks with the demo on, but Elliott still put the shot. It's too far to the left-hand side. All zeros in overtime. The first time in this series we find ourselves here.
Great job by Northeastern to come back in this one to find an answer. But can they get that one? Yes, because the shot's off target. I was ready to praise them. I was unsure whether or not they'd be scored on in such quick fashion, but they managed for now. Still, they're giving Prism a lot of space. We've seen him bump before. Cube the save. Changa now off the corner. Still trying to get past one. Stacks.
They're in trouble.
Now in control. I know, the pass down to Prism, and look at that shot placement. Kaiser coming out on top in overtime.
Yeah, and the reason why I say they're in trouble too, because I started seeing the boost steal technique coming out from Stacks and Prism and company. They just basically started to suffocate the defense, and they started to pretty much throw themselves in the line of sight of some of these challenges and shots, wasting the precious resources that they so desperately needed on the defensive end. So good job by Kaiser pulling off the demolition the boost steal strategy to pull that one off in overtime. One shot for Stacks, one shot for Prism, and a handful of saves right there for Cube on the end of Northeastern. But Chicksa, this is going to be match point now in favor of Kaiser. How do you turn this one around for Northeastern?
I would say don't have only Elliott having all of your shots. That's the biggest thing for me. Elliott with 6 shots and Cube and Slick Burrito with none. It was a single faceted offense. You have to involve everyone. You saw their passes earlier. That triple pass play was on the Northeastern side, and it was successful because they involved everyone upfield. You need those passing plays to come back. Even assists by demo, which you saw Slick Burrito doing, they have to be better at really putting those on target, because they could have had the lead, I think, at one point, but they missed a wide open shot.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, I'll fight for Cube. I'll fight for Slick Burrito. There was a couple of times where Elliott just kind of missed the mark there. So, I mean, even though he was the person that was shooting it, I mean, he just was not finishing some of those plays that Northeastern could have definitely took the wind out of the sails of Kaiser, and maybe even seen them get it done in regulation. But Cube starting things off over here for Northeastern. This is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I told you, someone else kind of needs to step up, get involved. In this case, it's Cube putting on something that's more difficult to save. That's way up the regular that we have seen. Get creative with it. It certainly worked out. Northeastern on top early, but certainly it's a difficult ask for them. They have to win 3 in a row at this point. And at least starting up gives them the momentum to do just that. The speed there, Prism looking for a demo, but that shot is way off the mark.
Yeah, I mean, I think they can do it, though. I think Northeastern have it in their gas tanks, essentially, to kind of pull off this, quote-unquote reverse sweep, or at least, keep themselves alive. But they have to play almost pixel-perfect Rocket League, in my personal opinion, and that's taking advantage of all the opportunities. And on top of that, pairing it with some good demolition strategies. You see Slick Burrito picking up one demo to kind of add a little bit of disruption and confusion to the defensive end when they spawn in. Cube off the backboard. Good read from Stacks to kind of get that one up. Slick Burrito, though, has a chance at this one. Good job by Prism to kind of put the pressure on early. This could be trouble right here for Northeastern if they don't get this one back over, and Elliott does.
Stacks in a dangerous position. He needs to challenge that ball. Why he stays up the backboard, I do not know. He has a teammate rotating behind him. He needs to effectively communicate. You have to fight that ball at that sort. He gives Elliott way too much space, and Elliott does his job and puts on a good shot.
Yeah, either that or go up a little bit more higher on the backboard so you can read the angle just a tad bit more, but it happens so in such quick succession. Oh my goodness, I can't even talk right now. Quick succession. Elliott right back towards midfield. I was going to say there was almost a goal off the kickoff once again for Northeastern, but the opportunity is squandered by the defense of Kaiser. The follow-up touch. Elliott was trying to be there. I believe that was a demolition from Stacks. And you're starting to see, them trying to take away that scoring opportunity, that person who was there for Northeastern early on. And Stacks and Prism, they're going to have their way with these guys, especially if they're standing too still or even slow.
Yeah, Changa a little bit early on that one. Could have been more patient. Now up on this one, can't find that angle. Does get the flip reset. I don't think Prism will be able to hit the angle. I just honestly think at this point, Kaiser is making it harder on themselves. They're rushing to get plays through when they could be more patient. Line up your car, line up the play, line up a good shot. Allow yourself the second at times if you don't see immediate pressure. So a little bit more vision. I think that you shouldn't be as panicked. They're not used to being in the situation they are now when they're down by 2, and Burrito barely saving that one. He might need another save. Cube doing the job instead this time. Stacks doesn't have that shot, and that should be a huge clear for the likes of Northeastern, and they do indeed get it.
I mean, on top of that, Chicks, I really feel like, you know, Kaiser, I'm not necessarily saying they're taking a game off, but they know they have at least a couple of games that they can kind of give up. So 2-0, still 2 minutes left. You still have this ball game and a couple more. You know, maybe they're taking a little bit lax out here in this one. Maybe make Northeastern kind of play to their max potential. But at the same time, you kind of want to get this one done. You know what I mean? You want to put the exclamation point in. And speaking of which, look at Stacks. A little bit of exclamation point. Cuts that deficit down to 1.
Stacks is certainly the person to keep your eyes on. A double commit again on the side of Northeastern. Double commits have been killing both of these teams. You need to communicate. Someone goes, someone stays. It's pretty easy in terms of rotation there. They just need to talk to one another. I think I could communicate with you on the field as well. One stays,
Listen, I'm gonna hire Chicks as a coach at this point and say, Chicks, what do I need to do out here? One person goes, one person stays. It's that simple.
I'm doing it now. I am coaching a team. I actually think they're either in this division or a slightly one lower. But my team plays right after this. I'm very stoked to see them play their final round of ECAC as well. But it's
coaching,
kind of
casting, playing. Chicks just does it all out here. I love it.
I'm trying. Absolutely.
Minute and 10 seconds here in game number 5. Northeastern trying to fight to stay alive. A good shot from Slick Burrito as well. Kind of puts them up by 2. Good cross. I like this.
I gotta call it out. I called it that everyone needed to be involved offensively for Northeastern. Everyone has a goal. Each person has a single goal. That's their key to success. They have to involve everyone. They did it. They're winning in decent fashion at this point with just over a minute and a 2-goal lead. I'm feeling pretty confident they'll be able to hold on, especially with challenges just like that. Northeastern are burning clock time. Pretty cute. The drop down. This one won't be taken. And Prism now upfield. Back 4, looking for potentially a bump, but no shot will come out of it. This is your time to be risky. This is your time to really get going and play. But it seems like Kaiser's playing too safe, and they're losing with 30 seconds left.
I mean, like I said, maybe they have it in their mentality that they, they're up by a couple of games and they have a couple to kind of give up. But going down early in those games just kind of put that pressure onto them, and they're just like, hey, we'll look forward to the next one. We'll kind of get these ones back. Good shot right there from Cube. Not going to find his way in, though. Slick Burrito. Gonna be beating up this back wall. Cube once again over into the corner. Changa, good job with the pressure, but still, nonetheless, comes up with it. There's going to be a 0-second goal. Not going to happen. Northeastern staying alive. And I want to remind everybody, playoff implications. This game does matter. Kaiser trying to punch their ticket into the playoffs. Northeastern trying to be that team that kind of, disrupts the hopes and dreams of Kaiser here getting that 4th place spot. So this game does matter. Match point in favor of Kaiser.
Yep, Kaiser has 2 games to try to win this series, which is a lot of time, but at the same time, not the position you want to put yourselves in after going 3 games pretty much straight of winning, or pretty much 3 dominant games that we saw out of them. But I love the team involvement from Northeastern. They need to do it again. They have to do it again in order to win. Keep using one another in creative ways to play. It's fantastic to watch as well, seeing them connect with one another on the field.
Yeah, I agree with you. When they do that, they're definitely hard to beat. But like I said, they have to be finishing some of those drives, some of those plays. They have to push those and make those shots, pretty much fall in their favor. Essentially, you cannot afford to miss, especially against a team that has such good offense like Kaiser. You've seen Prism and Stacks. They can do it on the opposite end as well. They can easily be activated on the offensive end for them. And pretty much take a game away from Northeastern when you have Changa, who's just been playing such a solid third-man role, either setting something up, going for some demolitions, whatever it may be. Changa has been answering the call. Nonetheless, this opportunity is going to be finding its mark. 40 Cube once again starting off with the first goal here for Northeastern.
Yeah, again, I think this is a miscommunication. Stacks completely bumps Prism on the defensive rotation, and you get no challenge on that shot. That's a mistake by Kaiser, and that shows how frustrated they are right now. 19 seconds in, Northeastern first goal. Can Kaiser get a quick answer? Prism beats one, but Cube, in fact, he almost has a shot. This one does get deflected on in, and just like that, bang, bang, up by 2 is Northeastern.
Yeah, good job by Cube, just kind of putting the threatening shot on the net and then making the defense panic on the rotation back through. This is something I wanted to point out a couple games ago, though, Chicksa. I noticed that Stacks wasn't really respecting his teammate, giving them space and kind of respecting, that they had the sheer ability to kind of, he didn't have the trust, I guess you could kind of say, to allow them to have a play on defense or even on offense. So he was kind of overextending himself, but at the same time, he was being that disruptive player on the offensive end, so he kind of made up for it. Now it's starting to be an issue and a problem here for Kaiser on the defensive end.
Prism trying to fall on, put some more pressure of zone. Stacks gets beat as well, and good thing Changa's back to send it off to the wall. Prism now looking to go upfield, does beat Elliott. Stacks committing, but Changa's last back. He better get a good touch, and that's not the quality touch we need to see. Prism 50 for the Cube out. This one will go above the bar. Stacks a great touch into the corner. And how temporary is this defense? A double commit for the likes of Kaiser. And they continue pressure, though, is my question. A demo on the goal line, but the ball is left, and Prism gets there first for a single goal lead for Kaiser.
Yeah, we've seen this before in the past where it's just been just a ton of pressure. The defense just kind of off guard. Slick Burrito wasn't expecting, that ball to kind of come through, and Prism just struck when the iron was hot once again. I would think the same thing if I was Slick Burrito. You see two of your teammates there in that position, and essentially you think one of them is going to put a hand in someone's face or at least get possession of the ball, and it just never comes through, and you get caught off guard and quickly concede a goal. Now you're only up by 1. You have to go right back to work, and against a stellar defense so far from Kaiser, but especially if they start to work some of these issues that they have out. Good shot from Stacks, the save from Elliott as well, and the put back from Prism. Still, nonetheless, Kaiser trying to hunt for this equalizer. Defense from Northeastern standing tall.
Stacks sees Prism. Stacks going for the bump. Would have been in anyways, but Prism able to get there and finish off that play. Nonetheless, this one was perfect from the start, and it was executed to tie this one up.
Yeah, that was such a good play right there from Stacks. The individual performance. Prism just being there for support to secure, not steal, secure that goal right there for Kaiser. I'll just show you, maybe a little bit of the team camaraderie. Maybe Stacks is mad that he can't add that air dribble bump to his highlight reel. Regardless, we have ourselves a tie ball game. Almost about the midway point here. I want to remind everybody that currently right now Kaiser's up on match point. Northeast is just fighting to stay alive and force this game number 7.
Some good pop-up. Stacks, it's their first. Changa the follow-up. This one off the corner doesn't get the 50. Cube with space. Prism, though, quickly gets rid of that space, picks up a boost pad as well as Slick Burrito gets that clear out. Changa ball side rotating could cause some problems. Able to get here, though, off the backboard, and can't get another shot by Cube. Off target high, and Stacks clears it out only to Elliott, who's waiting. Back in midfield we go. Slick Burrito looking for more pressure. Changa trying to get his way out. Is that one pinched on target? It's just off. Northeastern looking to bring pressure right now. They are finding some beats. They are finding some shots. They're just not on target.
Minute and 40 left in this ball game. Prism almost went from coast to coast with that one, putting the pressure on. Just ran out a boost towards the tail end. On top of that, good defense from Northeastern. Elliott, soft touch over to Slick Burrito. Prism Trying to come up on that one. Stacks does. Good takeaway right here from Stacks. Going for the bump or demolition or something. He's just hunting. There's the demo right there. Onto Slick Burrito. This ball's going to roll backwards, though, from the midfield line. 40 Cube does pick up the 100 pad. Tries to fire a shot. Changa doing some work with no boost. He's going to be rewarded with the boost from Northeastern's corner. 40 Cube. Good takeaway. It's just a poor, I guess you could say, gather right there. I believe that was Stacks on the opposite end. Final 60 seconds. Here comes Prism. Air dribble. This one's off the backboard. 40 Q pops over to the right-hand side. Changa now going to fire a soft shot. Not going to find his mark. Elliott with the hand in his face. Stacks cheating up just too far. Prism trying to go for the secondary touch. Changa from the corner. We saw that angle work earlier. Doesn't work this time, though, Chicksa.
No, but opportunity is certainly a lot more prevalent for the side of Kaiser at this point. Prism to Stacks, sends it towards the back wall. No finish. Cordy Cube with some space. Does get the touchdown to Elliott in the 51, but Prism is there to poke it away. This is almost an open opportunity, but great touch by Slick Burrito, directing off back wall. Changa looking for that double commit. In pressure right now is Kaiser. This one to Stacks, back to Prism. The clear out is strong. Waiting for one shot, one opportunity is the side of Northeastern. The save is made. Temporary though. Elliott blocked at the last second, and we see overtime in game 6.
Yeah, hopefully this one goes in favor of Northeastern, unlike last time in game 4. Went in favor of Kaiser. Starting this one off strong. I like the fake. A little bit of a miscommunication right there on the Cordy Cube and Elliott. They do escape though. Offensive chance right here for Cordy Cube. Maybe a double touch. Changa with a huge save. I believe that one would have found its way in. Here comes Prism now, maybe for a redirect. Slick Burrito off the backboard. Anybody's ball game. Changa, floater. Stacks a demolition on the Slick Burrito. Prism is going to force that one towards midfield. This one could be the chance that Northeastern wants. There's the shot. There's the demo. And there it is. Game number 7 is upon us.
Oh, Stacks needs to be more patient. Why do they keep double committing with one another? Kaiser keeps getting so close to their teammates, and each and every time Northeastern takes full advantage of these mistakes. It's a very close game. It's a wonderfully played game by Northeastern and a mistake-filled game for Kaiser. Each time they got back in it, they always messed up something, and it kind of fell apart because of it.
Yeah, we were talking about how even this matchup was going to be, Chicksa, heading into this game. And, you know, I guess the sands of time is really on our side with this one, because now we're heading to game number 7. And basically, I still think it's anybody's ball game. And I believe it's Kaiser's game to lose, essentially. Stacks is one of the best players out here in the lobby, but he has to have some sort of trust in his teammates in order for them to kind of, you know, flourish, I guess you could kind of say, is the best word I'm looking for here. But Northeastern coming together so strong so far and piecing everything together to kind of push their way past this very, very good Kaiser team. So anybody's ball game, Chicksa.
Yeah, it's certainly, I agree on the sentiment of Kaiser's game to lose. They are, quote unquote, on paper, the better team. And when they are clicking, they beat the likes of Northeastern 6-0. That is a perfect Kaiser game. But unfortunately, Kaiser is also not very consistent. I mean, it's probably why they find themselves 3-2 at this point in the season. They have to play a perfect 5-minute game of Rocket League in this one in order to beat Northeastern. No mistakes. No mistakes at this point. That's a very hard
Easier said than done.
Yes, absolutely. But they have to play remotely mistake-free at this point in order to beat Northeastern, who is so good at penalizing those mistakes.
Well, here we go. Game 7, Champions Field in our midst. Elliott's going to start things off with the pressure once again. And so far, the last 2 games, Cordy Cube has found the opening goal for Northeastern to put him up early. Stacks going to test his luck. And he gets denied by Elliott on the flip side of things. Cordy Cube now with a little bit of a breakaway. Good job by Stacks. Kind of just take that possession away, slow things down, let the defense kind of rotate back through.
Cordy Cube here, he does get the beat, but straight into Stacks' car. Granted, he gets beat by Elliott, who sends it perfectly to Slick Burrito. 1-on-1, Slick Burrito the beat, but Prism's there to at least send it away for now. Can't keep up with the ball. Changa, unfortunately, inside of his net. Good thing Stacks is there to pick it up. This one over Changa, blocked by Prism. It denies that shot, but desperately right now, Kaiser needs a clear. Prism does find one. Actually, he finds a shot as well, but it's just too high. He also bumps the third. If only there was follow-up. So much potential on that play. Quickly though, now they have to be back on defense. Cordy Cube, the shot. Prism misses this one, but good thing Stacks is able to get the 50 in the challenge. Now Prism back on it, but pressure by Northeastern, it's building, and I don't know if Kaiser's ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, so far, Northeastern has been threatening with a lot of pressure, a lot of shots as well. And Kaiser, I feel like they're just afraid to go for like anything and afraid to overcommit to like make a mistake. So that's why you see no follow-up touches from them, but we're going to see as time goes on. Changa trying to keep that pressure, trying to go for a demo on the goal line as well, and you saw Stacks was the closest person to that one. Here comes the crossing play. That's a double commit and a wide open net for Northeastern. Kaiser going to score the first goal here.
Great job by Changa to come through, find the beat, find the shot. He was in fact the last back. If he did not commit to that play, the other team almost certainly had a clear and potentially a shot to boot with it. So great opportunity by Kaiser to get ahead. Can they get farther ahead? Prism hitting almost a nutty angle on that play. And it's not going on in, at least not just yet. And now Northeastern looking to put on some pressure of their own, but great challenges coming out of Kaiser. I think they're a little bit rejuvenated with that goal.
2 minutes and 45 seconds left here. Champions Field. Slick Burrito had a slight opening. Changa throws himself in front of that opportunity, though. And you get credited with a save. 40 cube on the backside. Nice job sticking with the play, trying to pop that one in a relevant position for him and his teammates. Stacks. Advancement upfield. Slick Burrito caught. Just say he got caught going upfield just a little bit too much. He does get the beat, though, onto Stacks. Nice little pinch play down towards the bottom. You're going to see if somebody can get up. Stacks on the rotation back through, just throwing himself. Once again, you're still starting to see Stacks not really trusting, I think, the rotation back through, or maybe just trying to catch this offense here of Northeastern off guard.
Good thing Changa making some big plays, whether shooting or contesting at this point in the game. Now in control, almost finds a shot. I mean, he is credited with one, but an easily saved by Slick Burrito. Stacks now working the corner. Prism actually challenging, bumping a car. How to get nifty with that one in the recovery. Cordy Cube though, shot on target. Oh. Stacks, what a save off of his own post. And they actually get it out. Chenga's being able to push this farther upfield, but this one, it's on target. And Stacks isn't getting back for this one. Slick Burrito, a slick shot all the way across the field.
Yeah, huge dunking play right there from Slick Burrito. Stacks, once again, being that third man. You just can't really, I guess, predict that one's going to 50-50 and ricochet off your teammate and go into the net. So I can't really blame Stacks for that one. But at the same time, being third man, that's your job. You're the savior. You're supposed to be there in the nick of time. And you were there before. And a little bit of overconfidence, I guess, and your ability to kind of hustle back. But nonetheless, the equalizer still here for Northeastern. 1-1. Still, chicks, I can't really pick a side. It's anybody's ball game still.
Yep, absolutely. So much could happen right now. They're able to finish off this play. Prism able to get it away. Changa does get 50'd and contested. Slick Burrito following, trying to stay with it, keep his team on the offensive side of the field. A good block. Maybe would have been better left for Purity Q, but Elliott instead. Ceiling shot potential, does put it on target. Stacks with the save. Purity Q looking to sneak it on in and can't do so. Kaiser looks so out of control, but Stacks now has a great lineup. Beats one. Prism trying to follow. This will bounce back mid. Could Strong have a shot? Does he place it? No, but the follow-up by Prism's good and on target. And just like that, Kaiser back on top with 27 seconds left.
Yeah, and it all starts right there with the double commitment from Northeastern. You see Elliott and 40 both going for that first initial save. I believe that was threatening right there from Changa. And then Prism with the putback just puts it out of the reach of the defenders because they were just out of boost essentially at that point in time. 20 seconds left. Kaiser trying to get the job done in regulation here. So much pressure. Changa stalling so much clock. No challenge came through until about 10 seconds after. There goes a good job right here from 40 Cube now, trying to get this in scoring position. Prism with a far extension towards the opposite end. It could indeed be the last chance for Northeastern. And there it is. The ball hits the ground. Kaiser, stay alive. Pull things back together for game number 7. And they win this one here, Jigsaw.
Yeah, really great effort by Kaiser. They kind of pulled themselves together and all the pieces at the very end of that series and barely were able to edge it out. So congratulations to them. I'm pretty certain this secures them for playoffs, and unfortunately Northeastern doesn't cause that 3-way tiebreaker to give them the potential to move on forward. So congratulations to Kaiser. Again, barely moving on forward, but I'm sure they're very happy they were able to win that series.
Yeah, I believe you're right about that one, Chicks. I think it's going to be Florida Atlantic University, Fisher, and then, of course, you have Tiffin University, and then Kaiser wrapping up the tail end for the top 4 here for Rocket League. So it's going to be an interesting playoff situation, interesting playoff scenarios as well. But, man, that was such a good game, a good series as well. Northeastern put up such a fight. And like I said before, they were such a good team and they came together at the right moments. But I mean, so far, Kaiser just, so strong on the offensive end. They started to actually trust and believe in one another as well and pulled it together towards the tail end of things. So yeah, that's a great job by Kaiser is all I can really say.
Yep. Congratulations again. And that kind of wraps up the end
Indeed.
of Rocket League before playoffs, but it doesn't wrap up some other games that we have today on Esports U. Of course, huge shout outs to my co-caster, OW2. Had a fantastic time with you today. So don't forget to follow him, follow me, and all the things that we do Rocket League related. But next up, in literally just a minute, we're going to a quick break. We have ECAC Overwatch, a Week 6 University of Delaware versus Florida International. So go and catch FBI Tugboat as well as Couscous. Do that right now. So we'll see you guys hopefully around soon.
Hello and welcome, Overwatch fans. We are here. We are live with the ECAC Elite Division Week 6, Group number 3. I'm FBI Tugboat. I'm here with my man Try Too Hard, Ray. Ray, how are you feeling on the day?
I am feeling fantastic. Can't wait to get this match underway. It is do or die for the Blue Hens Academy team as they need a win to keep their playoff hopes alive against FIU, who are one of the big bad teams just completely making their way through ECAC.
That's an entirely fair statement. This is FIU has not dropped a map quite yet. I'll run through them and look at some of the teams they have found themselves able to put down. Week number 1, that was Sage Overwatch Sage Esports 3-0. Week 2, a away game as well. That was Robert Woods University's Hawks Blue Squad. Same different team, same situation. Ray 3-0 right there. Followed it up with little CSI Dolphins action. Same thing, different chapter of the same book. 3-0 right there. They got a bye week number 4, and that was a W against University of Albany. This says win for them, loss for them. That leads me to believe this was a forfeit, which that means, of course, is every time they have taken to the virtual pitch of Rocket League, they have come out with nothing but map wins, not a single map loss on the season so far.
It's absolutely insane. And to beat the CSI Dolphins 3-0 is, I mean, they're the other big team in this bracket. And to take them out 3-0, that speaks volumes. So the Blue Hens have a lot to deal with coming into this matchup, trying to keep their hopes alive.
Yeah, Illinois Wesleyan just taking a little bit more at the Elite Group 3 here. Illinois Wesleyan sitting on top with the FIU Panthers, both 4-0. They will, of course, have this week and next week for some makeups and whatnot. It's spring break. College trying to go forth and figure this out. This will be a best of 5 on the day. Best of 5 starting, control and hybrid, escort, push, flashpoint. It's Lijiang Tower. Why else would it be anything else?
Yeah, I mean, it's like the penultimate starting map in a series of Overwatch. I mean, if a game doesn't start with Lijiang Tower and go into King's Row, is it really an Overwatch match?
I was about to say, you took the words right out of my mouth, Ray. No King's Row, it just doesn't feel right for a map number 2, if it, of course, the traditional hybrid second. Taking a look, FIU, we have Spingar, Guitar, we have Astra. A little note here about Astra. Astra playing under the name Jin Hook. Overwatch continues to be Overwatch. Apparently an account was hacked. Hate to see it. Yai and Gorgon. Am I saying that right?
I mean, I think you pretty much got it.
Gotcha.
Apologies if we messed up slightly. We'll fix it if needed. But Lijiang Tower is going to be very interesting. We are working off a brand new patch that just came out yesterday for the mid-season patch, and a lot of changes came in, and it's going to be very interesting because I was talking with you beforehand. Ramatra was already probably the strongest brawl tank in the game right now, and they buffed his Ravenous Vortex, so he's going to be even more potent.
Yeah, the ability for players to just get away from this Ramatra tank form or not, it's really going to be made much, much harder when you're taking that much more damage, right? It was 45 damage maximum. Go through that Ravenous Vortex. If you stay there the maximum amount of time, what max damage? Now it's 70. Like, that's like something like a 65% increase here. Now, was talking about some of the other buffs that came in, folks. Pretty much everybody in the game got a buff. A couple players were unaffected, but Baptiste actually coming across with a nerf pretty much across the patch notes that you and I were looking at. The only character that you could say got a definitive nerf.
Yeah, and seeing these compositions come out, Reinhardt actually got a pretty good buff coming in this patch.
Yes.
Got an extra 50 armor. The Fire Strike went up 20 damage. So Ryan definitely feeling better. I don't think he's going to be on the same level as Ramatra, but you never know. This May Bastion combination can be very potent and break that Ram shield very quickly.
Taking a look at Moonluck and Twinkle Toes, of course. Twinkle Toes, got to say. Love the name. It's just funny. It's silly. Love it. Rice Viz on this. Ryan as well. Mako. We're on the recently nerfed Baptiste. Twinkle Toes gets absolutely melted down in the back. A whole laundry list of Florida International Panthers having a say on that. Now, Asta does get taken out. That's very interesting. That's going to be a little respite for the weary. That is this Delaware Blue Hen squad off the beginning. Rice Fist falls as well. That's going to be a little bit of staggered action against Delaware.
as Guitar's already off to a tear on the Tracer. Playing this Bastion that Twinkle Toes is playing, Tracer is going to be a menace. So you're going to need Peel. You're going to need Moonluck on that maybe. Use some of that primary fire and try and force Guitar away. Cozy, Peel on the Lucio.
Spingar has gotten the memo, doesn't get out of dodge. Well, the getting's good though. Twinkle Toes melting them down. And speaking of, Asta is not able to get away from this absolute onslaught of damage, and Delaware comes crowing back. The Blue Hens on top for just a little while.
And that's exactly how you have to play this if you're the Delaware Academy team. You got to take full advantage of that configuration mode when it's active, because once it's gone, Florida's going to be able to just run you down. So that was well played, but we're going to need to continue to see more consistency.
Well, you take a Lucy, you put it behind a May, you put it behind a Bastion, you're going to like what happens on the backside. Nice stick right here, but that's just going to be for the Immortality field, so Mako going to be investing that one. Window is out and window is down. The first ultimate of this matchup has come, it is gone. Guitar almost falling, is shattered down right here. Not a whole lot to show for it until Asta does go down. Spingar, a huge source of damage, deleted as well. Delaware has won this team fight, and Delaware has gotten the writing on the wall.
Yeah, so that's going to be, Asta is going to struggle against this Bastion, against this May. The thing Asta is relying on is for Spincar, Guitar, to get behind these enemy lines and make some plays. In the last couple fights, it just hasn't happened yet.
Spingar Guitar sounds like a fantastic brand. One that I would buy, maybe give Fender a run for their money. Immortality field invested really, really early. That's a long cooldown, folks. And Mako's probably going to want to have that one back. Now that Florida International just absolutely deletes the healing core first, and then the rest of these Blue Hens. The chicken gets plucked on that one as Delaware gives this one up at 68%.
Yeah, the power of that coalescence, being able to keep Asta alive throughout the entirety of the fight, really comes through strong. You're going to have to be very careful as the Blizzard's going to be coming into this fight. So if you're Joran, you have to be ready with this sound barrier to provide, to outlast a lot of these incoming ultimates from Delaware.
This is Guitar not really getting a whole lot of influence. There's the Blizzard in the back, but that gets nothing more than a little bit of stagger. That's a big source of damage, but Mako keeping squad alive for a little bit. Now Cozy deleted, Mako gone, Moonlight, we'll see it back in spawn room. Twinkle Toes joins them, and Delaware's lost this team fight.
And that was the thing about that pulse spawn. Yeah, I didn't get any kills, but it forced out the Immortality field and did all the damage to allow Asta and company to go in there and clean up the kills. However, Delaware has a war chest of ultimates coming to this next fight, so this sound barrier and this overclock's kind of strong.
Nicely done. This is just chasing them down right now. A nice shatter, but and a respective sound barrier on the other side is Giorian. Gives like pretty much no advantage to that. A lot of landing across the middle, and we got a pinstripe kill feed over here as Twinkle Toes just gets absolutely knocked down right there. After this Tracer just straight up cuts him in half. Guitar right there, singing a happy song. Rice Fizz once again taken out. Guitar is on an absolute run right now. Now a May in your face. Spingar decides, opts not to. Little bit of attention right there is Florida International. Going to take this one down, a 100-68 comeback here after Delaware comes out a swinging.
I do think that was a good showing from Delaware, all things considered. I think when they were re-engaging for that final fight, they left their Bastion behind to ult. I mean, in that situation, you had an overclock going off, which allowed Spincar to take full advantage of it. And it was Florida International's choices of who they went after. In that fight, they lost Asta, their tank, but in exchange, they got both of the supports from Delaware, and you're not going to be living in those fights long if both your supports are dead. As we now move to Gardens as the next map, this is where we've seen the possibility of dive coming out. But we're not going to see that. Florida's going to continue to play this Ramatra, but the other rush composition that has proven to be a strong asset in this meta has been this Junker Queen, and that's what Delaware is looking to pull out here.
Look, a little boop action. Gioran decides not to. That investment not worth the profit. Now Rice is just trying to find a little bit of rest for the weary here, and honestly forcing Guitar out of position right here. Nicely done. Twinkle Toes taken out. The Tracer play here from Guitar has just been way more dominant so far, Ray. Twinkle Toes maybe not going to find the same advantage on Tracer they did on this map they did in the previous.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see, because they were on the Bastion on the previous map, so they haven't, you know, formally had that great matchup against Qatar yet. So we'll give it a couple of fights, but Qatar has already made his stamp on this series so far. Is that empowered Ravenous Vortex already showing how good it is?
Seriously, Delaware, almost all of Delaware is very low right now. That's going to be enough as Asta gets in your face. Now just, 4-on-1 right there. Expected finish. This is all but a team kill against the Blue Hens.
I mean, again, it's just great execution coming out from Florida. Just knowing, because they're in this power position on Gardens. That's the one thing about these control maps, is once you have control of this point, it's very easy to put yourself in advantageous positions, because there's so few directions teams can re-engage from, as Delaware now going to match the Ram composition with the Cassidy May.
Taking a look at like a whole bunch of difference right here. Ray, take it away for a second.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Coalescence now going to come out. Guy having to try and keep the team alive, as Asta's looking to go all the way in with Ravenous Vortex. This guy finds one. The ults are out for the side of Florida International, and it's just cleanup duty, 65 and counting.
Yeah, dedicated the Ramatra ultimate, dedicated the Coalescence, dedicated one of the DPS ultimates, but still coming out back with still a Sound Bear and a Tracer bomb. I mean, Guitar has this Sticky Bomb, and this is basically a cooldown when it comes to Tracer. They'll have it back here soon, but offensive and defensive ultimate here. See how Florida goes if Delaware. This is pretty much their last shot on Lijiang. Now Guitar looking for a little bit of flank action. There's the Sound Bear that they were looking for. Stick comes out. That's not even going to get enough damage as the combat roll gets this Cassidy out of the source of danger. Now Mako done, but Asta right here, tank done for Florida International, but now a whole lot for Delaware. And Florida International proving the Panthers can get it done even without their big tank player. A 100-68 game transforms into a 100-0 slogging on map number 2 of Lijiang Tower.
Unfortunately for the Blue Hens, I kind of actually like the idea of going to the Cassidy May. It's two heroes that can bother Guitar on this Tracer, who's just been able to free farm the backline, but it felt like it was just too little too late. It completely reset their ult economy, and despite only having 2 ultimates for that final fight, Delaware had nothing to work with other than that sound barrier, and you're able to take a nice, clean victory on Lijiang Tower and put yourself up 1-0 in the series.
Yeah, I love how this series started out, Ray, on the first map of Lijiang Tower right here, again, 68-100, which is nothing to write home sad about by any means, especially given that Florida International University is going to be coming in, again, 4-0 versus a Delaware Blue Hens Academy squad, 1-3. Their one win was from a forfeit win. All of the matches they played all been 0-3, so they're still looking for the first map win as well. It'd be fantastic to take it off of the Panthers. And do mine ears deny me here, Ray? Did you hear what I hear?
I think I heard Kings Row. I think I wasn't 100% sure. There might have been a glitch in the system, but that's definitely what I think I heard. And keep in mind, University of Delaware is one of those prestigious programs. Keep in mind, this is their academy team. Their main roster absolutely dominates a lot of the time in collegiate. So they have the staff and the talent there. They just got to put it together on this academy team. Sometimes that can be tough, but I believe in this program.
Yeah, 100% agreed right here. University of Delaware, the Blue Hens have already shown what they can do. Obviously, traditional sports for 100 years plus, but also now within esports in the past few years. The simple fact that they have 2 very competitive Overwatch teams goes to show, speaks the truth, is walking the walk versus talking the talk when it comes to supporting collegiate Overwatch specifically, but esports in general within the collegiate scene.
As we get a
big
nice
shout out to them. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
100%. As we get a nice overview of Kings Row, we talked about this ain't really Overwatch unless you start on Lijiang and go to Kings Row. So we have ourselves an official Overwatch match, folks. So claps all around the world. As the thing about Kings Row, and I think why people like it, is there's no mystery behind Kings Row. I feel like no matter what composition you roll out on, you have a general idea of how these teams want to play it and what their win condition is. If you're playing dive, you're on the attack, you're trying to take control of that high ground and look to stage dives onto the first point. But both of these teams going to roll out on the brawl once again. Riceviz going back to that Rhine, and it did them pretty well on Control Center. That was their most competitive map, so no surprise they're going back to that.
Not against that whatsoever. Again, Kings Row has not geographically changed in quite a while, folks. This first stroke point is usually much harder, much more expensively purchased, we'll say. They just got through the Alderworth with a free pass. Room is on us. Everything is comped, folks. Now getting right on the point, and that's a lot of pressure here and early. Trying to chase down this tank. Immortality Field now invested, punching through, and Moonluck is sent back to the skies, but Asta's super low right now and really only got a Lucio to help them out, but that's going to be enough. I mean, even taking out a tank right here, Guitar does fall, but trying to get Asta out as well, given that Ramattra really doesn't have like any amazing movement abilities like your Divas and your Wrecking Balls, would have been great for next team fight, but that's not the universe we're living in right now, Ray.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, Guitar's going to be back quickly, so you take that trade every day, so them keeping Asta alive is going to be key. Now looks like they're going to look to take a high ground rotation, which is a little perplexing with May Cassidy in the full. That's normally, you know, heroes who thrive being more up close and personal.
I mean, maybe just a little bit of misdirection. I can't deny that, though. Twinkle Toes on the Maze is only going to get so much done from the top unless you're talking about headshots against this player, against Guitar right now to try and shut down that music. That is a very low Reinhardt on the inside here. Is now Mako going to be able to give them a little bit of love. Here comes that's a really, really, really close window, and now they're not going to be able to use it whatsoever once they drop down right here. Cassidy giving a little bit of effort, but really the fight is on point as Cozy doth fall. No sound barrier for them. Florida International, 1, 2, 3. That's going to be 2 ultimates that they invest to find 4 kills, I believe. 3 kills. Moonluck, Cozy now back. Moonluck just trying to charge a little bit. Ultimate will be high noon soon.
And that was going to be the issue if you're Delaware. You talked about how they popped that Immortality Field close and early. They were able to get Goran out of it, but the issue was they needed to go and find the follow-up, and that just didn't happen as Florida was able to use their ultimates and take advantage of it. However, I'm looking toward this Blizzard next fight from Twinkle Toes. The sound barrier is close to being online, so they get aggressive right now. This might be their window of opportunity.
We'll see how this goes, and if windows of opportunity shut right in their face, they turn into full-on warehouse doors through which they will pour onto point. Asta falling first is a fantastic way to start this, and this seemed, I mean, once Asta falls, this seemed like it was over before it even really began. Looking onto point, that's about 50% right now. That's a fat shatter right there. Is Spin Guard and Guitar going to be the 2 taken out again, Ray? I really think Spin Guard Guitars is it's a, you know, it really got some legs on it.
Couldn't agree more. The one takeaway you get if you're Florida is you made Delaware commit pretty much everything they had. They will have an amp matrix themselves, and I mean, you didn't commit everything yourself, but basically you limit how much snowball they're going to be able to get coming to this point. And just look, they're going to be able to take the fight to the archways. This is a very, very defensible position for them.
Yeah, I mean, this is the next real challenge here, is going under this overpass, and that's a huge charge, and Riceviz purchases a lot with just a little. Single charge later, and the entire tempo of this team fight shifts on its ear, Ray.
I need to continue to sing the praises of Twinkle Toes. These May walls have been absolutely superb, finding perfect target isolation and allowing their Reinhardt Riceviz time and time again to get easy charge kills.
Guitar just hanging out on top, ready to unleash the music down low. Ravenous Vortex out, a fantastic wall, but Twinkle Toes gets a little bit too aggressive with this one, cheats up just a little bit too much, and a couple of Florida International members take that one out. Fat charge. Riceviz gets back with the rest of their squad. Enough shields to protect the team, and is going to be back to a neutral situation.
Yeah, Florida International said enough. They knew these May walls had been crucial. They were ready to follow up and help Asta out of that situation. As you mentioned, Twinkle Toes was used to getting away with that. That time, Florida made the adjustments and got things going. You're facing down a Ravenous Vortex if you're Delaware. We've seen these go crazy for Asta time and time again as they're trying to hold defensively.
Guitar just has the pick of their targets right there as everybody's bottled up. Asta, perfect time on the get out right there, but that's not gonna be enough when Twinkle Toes has you in their sights. Main support now down though as Moonluck fall as well. Delaware is gonna be fighting against a team without their tank, but now coming back and now without any source of positive movement modifiers here. Twinkle Toes falls as well. Maine not able to stay up through this one, and Florida International has bought back a lot with just a little.
Guitar coming through big on that Tracer as Asta pretty much Ajax that annihilation that I was talking about was going to be so important. But in the meantime, because of the clutch factor that came through from Spin Car Guitar, they now have their ultimates to be able to commit into this fight. As man, look at all this damage they're laying down.
Yep, they have so much of Able right here, and that's gonna be what happens when you go in head first into an overclock. That's a full team kill. No, that's just outside. Cozy and Mako fell right before then. 35 seconds is all Delaware is gonna have to try and bring this one back from the brink.
You only get one attempt at this for Delaware. 3 ultimates in your back pocket. I feel like there could be a lot of value seen. You get a big shatter and set Moonluck up for a nice high noon. And then literally this sound barrier, you're just looking to make sure you don't die from either this pulse bomb or this coalescence.
Overclock will be faced with that perhaps as well. Guitar just trying to find a way in edgewise right now. That's a nice stick. Moonluck taken out. No high noon for you, my friends. Clock will not be changed. Coalescence out. That provides a little bit of damage is necessary, especially once Mako takes to the skies. Moon boots engaged, and that gets taken down, just absolutely grounded. The anti-aircraft gun that is a Spingar.
As you put yourself in a really good position if you're Florida International to go up 2-0 in the series. Really, you just got to get the cart to that Foundry corner, and I mean, it's been tough sledding for Delaware. I've liked some of the swaps they've been making, but it feels like even when they get a pick early in this fight, Florida's just able to pop an ult down 1, and their DPS are able to pop off, whether it's Guitar getting a big pulse bomb, or Spin Car getting a big overclock, or even Yai coming through with the coalescence. Delaware has to find a way to, when they find these opening picks, to clean up and end these team fights before Florida can turn them.
Yeah, I 100% agreed. What Florida has been doing with just a little bit, and especially the way that they've been taking advantage of Delaware's like hyper aggression once a key player falls. Key player read your Gioran Lucios or your Asta Ramatras, at least for the time being. You drop a DPS, that same kind of aggression is just not seen from Delaware. It's more marked, it's more reserved, and it's aggressive, but it's not over aggressive, which is where they've been getting punished up to this point, right?
Yeah, this composition Delaware's rolling out on the defense, so it's going to be a poke composition, which I'm all for. The one issue you're going to be running to in Delaware is making sure you're able to maintain space. If you're able to do that, you should be able to find these pickoffs pretty easily, but you know that's what Florida International is going to realize. Like, just push the issue. Push on top of this Sigma. Get on top of these hit scans. Don't give them angles and sight lines to play with.
Yeah, and there's the Gioran Lucio change at the last second from the Mercy here that should probably spell the difference here. Just that 30% extra speed boost, even without the pumping it up, is just so effective for moving a team where they need to be. Guitar trying to find a way in edgewise as always. Don't believe we've seen Guitar play much different from the Tracer thus far. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ray.
Nah, they've been stuck on this Tracer. Immortality Field's out and Mako's already down.
Yeah, it's a quick one. Twinkle Toes, Mako both deleted here. The Immortality Field was invested for what it was worth and for the time being, but a slow burn, both literally and figuratively, as Moonluck is a little bit going, but yeah, that's not going to be enough. Florida International has taken this first point in the first, what, 45 seconds or so?
Oh, and that is devastating.
That's really bad.
I was literally about to sing the praises of Moonluck for getting out, but Guitar, the assassin in the back line, able to find him. That's going to be a late stagger for Moonluck, and that's going to buy Florida International those archways. You're not going to be able to hold there if you're Delaware, so you're going to be looking to take the first fight, really, at the bookstore corner, so you really only get 2 fights out of this.
fully charged Spingar rifle here, and that's the stuff the defense's nightmares are made out of. Projected barrier up top initially, and this isn't even like placed in such a way that Spingar can't hit to it. Speaking of, that was almost really bad. Twinkle Toes, or I believe that was Moonluck actually, getting damage onto them and forcing Spingar down from their perch. This is an area that they would love to have. This is the corner they would love to be possessing right now, and Delaware has just bought it back easily. Nicely done. Main support deleted. Now that's something that's really hard to come back from, but hey, I forgot that I was talking about Florida International here, Ray. Immediately afterwards, DPS and a support taken down. Just a couple more shots, so Asta does fall right here. Hold up, did Asta just eat Moonluck's Tracer Bomb? No, Moonluck just changed, excuse me, sorry.
It's so close, it's so close.
Oh my God. We are all just temporarily renting space in Spingar's world, it seems. FIU with a quick one on Kings Row.
Yeah, literally, I was just like, are they gonna touch? And then I was like, overclock? It's the kill. It's just ridiculous. Florida International is showing us why they are up there with Wesleyan as the top two teams in this division. Heading already locked up their place for playoffs, but they're wanting to lock up even better seeding. And considering they're 4-0, I'm assuming they match up against each other next week. I don't know for sure, but one would think if they haven't gone against each other yet.
Well, I mean, the way that seeding would go is that FIU and Illinois. Oh, you mean they haven't? Oh, them playing in the regular season. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about postseason stuff. Yeah. I mean, logic would follow given that they have both completely, won all the way out, and this is of course round robin, 6 weeks, 7 teams. They each play each team one single time. That will be a barn burner of a match that will ultimately just decide seeding. Like both of those teams could lose today. Delaware could come out, take map 3, 4, and 5 for the reverse sweep right here, and then Illinois Weston could lose that game still instead of kind of just be like a seeding playoff stuff. But that's a good point, Ray. We talked a little bit about bracket here and what exactly this means for postseason and whatnot. I kind of want to get back to that a little bit. So the fact remains what Robert Woods University played all 6 of their matches, correct?
Yes, I believe they're 3-3.
Yeah, gotcha. So Blue Hens, given they still have an opportunity to come back here, match is not done. Yes, map 2 is even more one-sided than the second half of the first map. But if the Blue Hens come back and win this one, and they win next week as well for their kind of, last week kind of cleanup, whatnot, after reschedules and everything, then they're going into a situation where they're 3-3 as well with Robert Woods University, Hawks Blue, in that 4th position, and the top 4 go to the playoffs.
Yeah, so like we mentioned, this is do or die for Delaware. They have to pull off the reverse sweep here or they do not have a chance at playoffs. FIU, as we mentioned, they're just playing for seeding at this point, hoping to have the number one overall seed. And I feel like at this point, you're warming up. You're practicing on this new patch, getting ready for those playoffs because this new patch could change a lot. Who knows what a team like Wesleyan, who's got so much history and so much talent behind them, what they're going to whip out on this new patch.
And depth, really. Illinois Wesleyan, like you almost can't spell Illinois Wesleyan without depth, even though I don't think any of those letters actually go into there. But that is how Illinois Wesleyan has come forth and gone 4-0. Ray, the voices in my head telling me it's El Dorado next.
I'm very excited. I feel like we don't get Dorado enough anymore. I feel like ever since Overwatch 2 came out, it's like Circuit Royale, Shambali Monastery, sometimes Rialto mixed in there. We never get Dorado love anymore. So I'm a big fan. It tends to be a dive map, which is interesting because both of these teams have not shown dive yet. Not saying they can't play it. They just haven't shown it yet, and that's kind of what this map is known for. So I'd love to see maybe some Doomfist or some Diva coming out on this map.
Would love either of those things as well. To your point, I think I've literally casted 2 Dorado matches, since Overwatch 2 has been out. I think I've done 1 Rialto, which is unfortunate because I love both of those. Shambhala Monastery, it has definitely grown on me, and that map came out. I did not like it very much, not going to lie. Very, very much grown on me since then, and I think that is reflective of the common zeitgeist, the common opinion of many, many different Overwatch players of this map. But Dorado, here we go. Used to love playing this in Overwatch 1. Let's go for Overwatch 2.
Yeah, so many fond memories of, RIP Overwatch League on this map. But, we're here. We're going to try and see if the Blue Hens can complete this reverse sweep, which is ironic because I recently did just cast some Dorado this past weekend, I believe, or maybe I was watching a game that was on Toronto.
Lucky guy.
Basically, this team was able to force Junker Queen to actually make it work on this map. So, who knows what these teams are going to roll out with? Like we mentioned, we've really only seen Ram out of Florida International. We've only really seen Reinhardt and a little bit of Ram coming out from the Blue Hens and some Sig.
Yeah, just
that could be in play. Sig Poke.
Like, obviously didn't really, like it was a great idea, and I love the malleability that Blue Hens are showing that they're willing to work with, but obviously just did not last anywhere near as much. Like you said, the Spingar Widowmaker here for Florida International on attack.
Yes, that's what I'm looking for. Coming out of the defense, having the guts to roll out on Widowmaker, and I've been already dominating on Sojourn. I can't wait to see this.
Ooh, a body shot right there. Spingar almost found it. That one is charged and looking for a headshot. Now rotating around, Spingar is going to realize that one and get out of dodge while the getting is good. But now a D.Va on their heels and completely sectioned away from their team. This is a D.Va that should have taken this kill twice by now, and now getting a little bit of assistance from the friend. This is that is a fumble of the bag here from Delaware. Mako falls though, so they're gonna actually dedicate so many resources in there that Delaware loses not just one but both of their supports. Yes, they're right next to Spawn Door, but this can't be described as anything but a mistake.
Yeah, I think, going for a behind, enemy lines flank like that is good, but if you're going to do that, you have to confirm both the kills, and they only got a trade, and it's not what you're looking for on an attack on Dorado like this. When as this card goes further and further, these defensive positions for Florida are just going to become stronger and stronger.
Yeah, I mean, the card is still moving, I'll say that. It's only now getting contested as we get to our underpass. Mako just trying to get into position with the rest of the squad. That is a rather low D.Va, now forced to reposition on this one. A lot of healing coming in, but there's still a lot more before 725 is filled. Twinkle Toes taken out by their counterpart. Guitar continues just to reign supreme over this match. Rice Viz, little awesome. Little D.Va on D.Va action. It's been a while since I've seen that one, right?
Yeah, it seems like we're getting a lot of 1v1s. Guitar winning out that Tracer duel once again. And a big reason is now that Kitsune Rush comes out.
Big investment, make it early here is Cozy. Down Spingar with the assistance of that Kitsune Rush. Moonluck on the trade. Here comes the sound barrier from Dioran. This would be awesome if Delaware had anything after. The sound barrier is now gone, but without anything except for a self-destruct. They really have to pair this with something or another. Riceviz wisely deciding to get out of this team fight and losing a little bit of progress on this one. Back with the team now.
As Spincar is now going to completely get off hits again and go over to the Genji. This is going to be a full-on dive. They're all just going to be going down target to target. Oh, great pulse bomb from Riceviz.
Yeah, if we know Guitar, they'll have it back here soon, but a fantastic read there from Riceviz. Defense makes yourself and really just whipped into that one. Problem with this is that Riceviz is just not getting the same amount of healings they really need to. Twinkle Toes only get so much on their recalls and whatnot. Moonluck only so mobile, especially where they decide to fight this one from. Twinkle Toes getting a little bit of revenge now. The Tracer duo is 1 versus 1 as of right now. Here comes the sound barrier. I think Cozy was anticipating the Asta self-destruct. Here it comes now. Yeah, that's going to be mostly put for positioning. Not finding anyone on that one as both the healers, the main supports here, get taken down. Moonluck just absolutely swarmed right there as Asta found exactly what they were looking for.
That they did, they force out the defense, the self-destruct out of Riceviz, essentially looking to remake and keep this fight going when they're already down 2. Now Spincar is going to have this blade online and no sound barrier from Cozy. This is a recipe for disaster for Delaware.
Yes, it is. This is a lot of time being burned off as well. 30 seconds to go here. Of course, they'll be granted a little bit more time for their efforts if they take that in, folks, but they only have 2 ultimates on board right now until now Mako here with the Kitsune Rush. Pull this pretty much as soon as it comes out. A recall for a recall between Twinkle Toes and Guitar. So Guitar's going to have theirs in just a second. Spingar with Blade as well, but not the resources to really get this one going. Here comes the sound barrier. That's exactly what he was looking for. Another dash here as now getting involved. 2 for 1 as Spingar is out here making sushi.
Just very well played from Spin Car, not getting distracted by that Diva in his face, knowing his targets were just a little bit further. Let's take that extra dash, and then we're going to be able to swipe, and find 3. We knew this blade was going to be big, and Spin Car comes through as Florida is able to get the first point hold and puts Delaware in quite a predicament. They have to reverse sweep, so they're going to have to first hold even more than what Florida just did.
Yeah, and this is like not even giving up to first point as well. No points on the board for the offensive efforts here from Delaware. 82 meters, that's really close, but it is not 2.1. It is not a point on the board. Ray, let's dive inside the mind of the analytical right here, okay? What exactly can Delaware do on the offense? What can they pull out to try and have a real chance at this Florida International reverse sweep?
It's tough. It feels like Florida has always had their number this entire series. It looks like they're going to live and die by the composition that's given them the most success. And I think that's just going to be the right approach to take, even if this composition isn't the best on this map. And I kind of actually like the idea of pulling out the Sim. Sim got some pretty good buffs coming into this patch. I never thought they were good enough to make Sim meta. But I feel like she can be very niche in certain situations and give teams trouble, especially going against a Genji and a Tracer, where those turrets can really bother those heroes.
Even if the Genji and Tracer are kind of pushing each other off for positioning on the top right now, there can only be one, Ray.
This town ain't big enough for the two of us, is what they were saying.
There you go, no capacity necessary.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how these turrets are going to hold against this Tracer. I mean, oh my god, they're on Widow junk. What is this?
Yeah, junk has not really been seen a whole lot now. 39, 45% ultimate. They're just literally filling this hole up with grenades and getting it done. Does get taken out. This might be a little bit of memery going on right now, Ray.
That's the thing for me. If you're Delaware, like, you can't just sit in this room the whole time. You do get that pick on the guitar, but you're just going to continuously take damage. You got to look to push the effort at some point.
Yeah, like they are contesting from inside here. It was discovered quite a while ago, and it seems obviously utilizing it since, but now past that corner, they no longer have their hidey hole to go forth and take this out. And honestly, man, this, I mean, between the Bastion and the Junkrat, this is everything that they want done against Rice. It is a shield.
Yeah, one final fight for Delaware to keep their playoff hopes alive. Rice Viz goes over to the Diva, but Qatar already has a tire online. Could send Delaware packing with one big push of the cube.
Yeah, and they're in a really good position to get this one done as well. Mako invests the window early. This Immortality Field has got to be taken down before Tire comes in. Mako gets out of the range of Immortality Field as the Baptiste, and Guitar is back, ready to join the party. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and 4. Every Delaware player, fortunately, hit the floor. That is going to be enough for Florida International and their full 3-0 sweep against the Delaware Blue Hens Academy squad.
As their perfect map streak stays alive, does Florida International, which is going to set up quite a match next week between Wesleyans. So that's going to be a banger of a match to continue to look forward for. But, man, Florida just out the gun, just seemed to be prepared, ready, and had Delaware's number no matter what composition they rolled out on.
Once again, big shout out to the Blue Hens for trying a whole lot of different things across the two maps, the first two maps of Lijiang Tower and then Kings Row right there. Obviously, Kings Row, there's only so many things they can do, and they were able to open that one up as well, so they were not, it wasn't the same situation as we just saw on Dorado where they were full held as well. Malleability and the ability to change and play different heroes to an expert level is always going to be a mark of a great Overwatch team. Florida International University, the Panthers here, as Ray said, just literally had their number. Every single time they came to call, they just had it answered on the other side, every single time.
Yeah, so congratulations to Florida International. I mean, you're undefeated for a reason. You showed us on stream today why you haven't dropped a map yet, and I cannot wait to see your matchup next week as we're getting closer and closer to those playoffs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, Illinois Wesleyan, Florida International University, again, guys, there can only be one. Both of these teams cannot come out of that matchup unscathed. I would love to see, like, just a back-and-forth barn burner, map for map and map for map, and both teams taking some of their first map losses of the season. Once again, though, one of them is at least going to take 3 of them. We'll see how that one goes. Before next week, folks, that'll be Tuesday or Wednesday, I believe, that'll be going down. We do have ECC Valorant semifinals tomorrow as well. I believe that'll be starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're on the West Coast, Pacific Time, of course, that is 4 p.m. FBI Tugboat has been try hard Ray, excuse me. We want to give a big shout out to our production staff here on the day, of course. That is Leighton, that is Colton, and everybody over there with Esports U, and Scoots, of course, as well, helping out on the production side. Ray, do you have anything else for the good people before we bid them adieu?
I just thank everyone for tuning in and watching. As we mentioned, some banger matches coming out, so make sure to tune in next week as we look to see the conclusion of the regular season as we enter playoffs. So until then, we'll see you next time.